Hi, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Activity Special Guest. Every Thursday, we have someone on who is an expert in their field. And this week, we have Kris from Oils for Everything. And he's going to talk about essential oils and how to use them appropriately with our little ones. And so many of you guys know about Soothing Sammy. This is a book program that I wrote. Helps kids learn how to calm down when they feel upset or overwhelmed. And Sammy is the main character. He's the dog. And the kids go visit Sammy at his house when they feel upset. What do you do when you are mad? And then when I am mad, I visit Soothing Sammy. And then when the kids go over there, Sammy has a whole bunch of things in his house that help them calm down, like a snack and a drink and a picture to look at. And all the kids use the items to feel better and to calm down. And then at the very end, there's a few questions to ask the kids what to do or what made them mad and what do they need to feel better. And then they go on to have their great day at the very end. And the idea of the book is this teaches the kids what to do with the items. And in the back, we build our own Sammy house for the Sammy dog that comes with the set. And you build the house with anything that you have at home and use items you found in the book to put in the house so that your kids can actually go use them when they feel upset and overwhelmed. And one of the things that we talk about in the book is about smell. Because when we get upset and overwhelmed, then when you smell something or breathe something or sing a song, you're using a variety of different senses to calm down. And there's also a little book in here. It's the parent guide or teacher guide, which teaches us how to help our kids prevent tantrums or meltdowns and what to do when your kids meltdown or tantrum in different scenarios that are pretty common. So Sammy uses their child's senses to calm down, and that's what the book and the dog are for. And so when we talk about essential oils, one of the pictures in the book talks about kids calming down using their smell, using their nose. It's a scent to smell, and she's smelling flowers and cookies and all sorts of great things that help us calm down. So when we think about what we want to put in Sammy's house or what we want to use in the classroom or what we want to use on a daily basis around our kids, we want to make sure that they're safe. And so that's what I wanted Kris to come on to talk to us more about how to introduce these to our young kids. You can get Sammy on the website, but it comes with the book and the dog and the other book, but it doesn't come with all the stuff that goes in it. We use things that our kids have at home or things that we make. And one of those things is a scent to smell that we want to make sure is included in our kit, since that smell is so powerful. And I found, I'm going to put this link in. This is an aromatherapy Play-Doh recipe that you could make. I'm putting the link up now. Something to squeeze and something to smell to really hit all those senses if our kids are feeling overwhelmed. And I know Kris said he's also got an awesome recipe and some ideas for this he's going to send us later, and I'll link it in here. But Kris, do you want to talk to us a little bit about oils and scents and what's safe really for young children?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. It's exciting and definitely a subject that's close to our heart. We got young children as well, and ones that are strong-willed children and need that extra sensitivity to their senses that tend to get overwhelmed very easily. So I can relate to this.
Yes.
But when it comes to essential oils are very popular. They're growing in popularity. Quite a lot of people are using them now, but there are a lot of safety concerns that you need to be somewhat aware of, especially with children who can be more sensitive to the oils. So a few tips that these are more for my wife, because my wife is really the expert, but she doesn't like being on camera. So but she shared with me these tips and what we do with our children. And so I'll share these with you. So number one is you don't ever put any oils in any of, like ears or eyes, nose, mouth, no orifices. If I'm saying that word right, no, you don't put any oils in there as it's too sensitive, and that could cause burns and other problems there. They should also be diluted. You always want to dilute the oils. So normally our skin is a little tougher as adults, and so you can sometimes apply not all oils even, but most oils you can apply directly to your skin, whereas with children, you don't really want to do that. There's a lot of controversial discussion on how much to dilute it. For us personally, and you can research this on your own to find out what you're comfortable with, but we usually will do 1 drop to every about a teaspoon or to a tablespoon of a carrier oil, like coconut oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil, some kind of carrier oil that will dilute the strength of that. Some of those oils are hot is what they're considered, and so they can cause a reaction on your skin if you pour it right on. So but diffusing is also a very popular method, and usually that's preferred, especially in a classroom setting. You will most likely diffuse there. And then when it comes to oils to use,
well, I was going to say, you could put a diffuser on when you want your kids to calm down. Is that right? Like in nap time or transition time, and put some of those calming oils in there.
Absolutely.
Is so important when we have 24 3-year-olds running around the classroom, and we want them to calm down.
Yes.
So that's kind of a fun, simple way, something you can add in during your school day. And make it. Did you have specific oil ideas as far as what is good for calming, like your senses? I know lavender is a big one.
Yeah, so lavender is probably one of the most popular ones that's used a lot of times with kids. We found that with my super hyper child there, lavender doesn't seem to do a whole lot for her. So we've tried other oils that have the better effect. Peppermint is really good for kind of breathing, and kids really love the smell of it. It's got that really strong, like well, how do you describe it? It's just like real fresh, right? And kind of blasts you in your face there, wintergreen like.
It does. And you know, my cousin, I live in California, and we have some big forest fires. And last year one was really close to our house. And she said with the smoke to put peppermint oil in the diffuser, and it cleaned out the smell. It was unbelievable.
Yes, it does. It works amazing. Sometimes some kids find it a little too strong, though, so we will substitute that with wintergreen. And wintergreen is not quite as pungent as peppermint, but still has that same cooling effect that the kids really love. So that one we found to be very well as well. Rosemary works really good. Yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly.
Areas, put some wintergreen stuff over there.
Yeah, it definitely smells a lot better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying more?
Yeah, rosemary is another good one, especially for the antibacterial effect. That really is helpful in like a classroom setting where you got a bunch of kids, a bunch of germs. Right. I know that's a very big topic right now. Yeah. Oregano is probably one of the strongest ones, but that's a little too pungent for children. So usually we'll substitute that with some thyme, rosemary, and basil. And those have the same antibacterial, I can't even say it right, but antibacterial effect, antiviral, and so very healthy to have.
Yeah, that's great. So we're thinking, so when we think about adding in senses into the classroom or at home, the diffuser is a really good choice. I think especially for kids, especially if they're not your own kids and you're in a classroom, you don't want to apply anything to their bodies or, so you're talking about diluting the oils to make sure it's safe. So that's really important. But you could put a diffuser. I know there's a bunch of different kinds of diffusers, and I know you have some with your company, right? So what exactly do you recommend as far as what type of diffusers and where to put them?
So with diffusers, they're mostly designed where they last like 4 hours is kind of the average with most diffusers. So they'll diffuse for a 4-hour period. You're going to fill it with water and then put a few drops of oils. And depending on, of course, the mixture that you're using, you don't want to really do more than probably 4 to 6 drops of oil. And then you're going to put that in there. That'll diffuse an entire room, big living room, big classroom. One setting for 4 hours is more than enough to handle for the entire day, really.
So if you could pick maybe like the top 3, like if I was a teacher and I wanted to go pick 3 oils out, which 3 do you think would be the most effective for me?
I would say probably lavender, peppermint, and tea tree oil. We seem to use a lot of tea tree oil all the time, so I like that mixture quite a bit. But also I really love orange. Orange or lemon has got such a refreshing smell to it, and it really kind of alerts the senses as well. So in a classroom setting, I think that would be great. If you added that with peppermint and lavender, that would have a calming effect, but also to help the senses be a little more alert.
Mix a couple together, right? Like what you were saying is put in the peppermint and the lemon, so that's an option. And also I put in the recipe for the Play-Doh, but if you had yellow Play-Doh, you can add the lemon flavor to it.
Yes.
Orange Play-Doh, add the orange to it. You can practice smells and colors and all that stuff, and also give your kids a multi-sensory experience.
Yes.
While they're playing. So something like that will work great in the Sammy house thing, but also in like a center time. And I know I've been talking to a lot of preschool teachers right now with the COVID stuff going on, and they're really concerned about kids sharing sensory stuff. And we were talking before about just having a little baggie and writing each child's name on it, and they can have their own baggie, their own Play-Doh, and then they can reuse that Play-Doh for a good week.
Yes.
Do you think that the oils will last in something like that for a few days?
Yes, it's amazing. We have a little mini handheld diffuser that we give to our child, and she carries it with her. And I have had a couple drops in there that seem to have lasted a month.
Oh, wow.
She'll pull it out and pull the cap off and smell it for a little while, and it just does wonders for her. So just a few drops last a really long time.
Do you use anything like that for her to help them calm down if they're upset? What in there?
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely, with my youngest one, especially, I have younger twins that are 5 years old now. So they just got out of pre-K. I got twin girls there, and one of them is our very strong-willed child. And so she needs a lot of help and support with that. But yeah, we have just one of these diffusers that's got some cotton in it, and you just put a drop on there. And like I said, she just carries that around with her. We'll put lavender. I think I have lavender and peppermint in that one that I mixed the two. We also have a separate one that we use that has a mixture for allergies, because she has allergies as well. So.
Wow. Okay, great. Yeah. So, I mean, the oils, and I'm sure that there's a lot of information and a lot of research people can do on the oils and what they cause and, how they support you. And, but I really wanted you on to talk about how we can be safe with them. And I appreciate your time with us, because I think that's really important, especially as teachers and parents, where some of us are concerned about introducing that sort of stuff with our kids because we don't know what exactly is safe and what is too much.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So important. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I do know that safety is so important, especially as you were talking about with this COVID situation. People are very concerned about safety. And if you don't mind, I'd love to mention too, just because people are concerned with it, we are trying to promote and let people know that we've seen a lot of people going to harsh chemicals and stuff because they don't feel like natural solutions are strong enough with the danger and the fear that's around. And one of the things we're really trying to encourage families to realize is that these natural methods are very effective, if just as effective, if not more effective than a lot of the harsh chemicals that are out there. And especially with children, we're all about helping families be more organic and green in their household. We actually have a new page that we're just launching right now called Home Healthy Home. And it's all about helping people realize that you can be green and organic in your household without the harsh chemicals and still have a lot of health benefits from that.
Right. And still be safe and still give your kids, you know, a safe environment, which I think absolutely. Especially in preschools right now, that's our concern, is keeping everything safe and sanitary.
Yes, absolutely.
So you sell, you have a website, is that right? Oils for Everything. You have a Facebook page?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page. Oils for Everything is our brand. We don't sell oils themselves. We actually just sell the products related to them. So spray bottles, roller bottles, Euro bottles, things that they use for the oils. And so we support oil users through our products and our brand there. And then, as I mentioned, we have our new brand that we're pushing out, our page, Home Healthy Home. And that we're excited about because we have a course that we're going to be launching in the near future to just help people be more green in their households.
Right, right. And I think, you know, when you brought up spray bottles, that could be another fun activity.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Probably not the spray bottles that you sell, but more like plastic with water and oils and maybe some paint in there, and then spray the paper outside or the floors, and it probably would have a great smell.
Yes, I like the way you think there. Very creative.
I mean, that might be, especially when it's nice and warm outside and it's summer, and that might be a fun way to bring in some of those senses too.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
So yeah, so the stuff you sell on your site, I'll put a link to it so people can find it.
Okay, great.
And another link to your home. Say what
Home Healthy Home. Yeah.
Well, I'll put a link to that one, and then so if anybody's interested, they can go see it.
Excellent. Yes, and if you like, I'd be happy to share some recipes for you guys, either for the Play-Doh or just best things to use in a classroom setting for a calming diffuser. I can send you some recipes for that as well.
Definitely.
Great.
So, well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate your time.
You bet. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right. And if anybody has any questions, I know a lot of you are watching the replay, so pop them below, and I'll let Kris know if there's any questions that he can come back in and answer for you guys, especially my teachers in here who are trying to find new resources, kind of scrambling right now, inside and outside in the classroom and all that type of stuff. So definitely ask for questions, and we will be here to answer them. All right. Well, thanks, Kris. I appreciate you coming on.
You bet. Thank you, Gina.
Have a good day.
Take care. Bye.